This week on TechRap, Twitter unveils its second redesign of the year, and it's looking very much like Facebook. Is Samsung working on a Gear smartwatch that's also a cell phone? And we review the hottest budget quad-core smartphone in the market today, the MyPhone Rio. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap, your weekly source for tech news, gadget reviews, app recommendations, and social media tips. Have you logged on to your Twitter account on the web recently? Slowly rolling out this week is Twitter's second redesign of the year, and if you look closely, you'd think it's Facebook. Twitter has always been about text, but its latest redesign hints of a shift towards a more visual Twitter. The new design rolls out to a select group first, but Twitter promises it will come to all in the coming weeks. Here's everything you need to know about the redesign. The most noticeable change is the header photo, which spans the entire width of a page. Profile photos are now supersized, hovering on the lower left corner of the header image, on the same spot where you'd find them on Facebook. Below it are a user's details. Tweets that are engaged with more are displayed slightly larger. On click, a tweet no longer expands to show embedded media, replies, and favorites. Instead, it redirects to its respective permalink. Images and video are now displayed on a tweet by default, so you're no longer just scrolling through text. Users can also opt to filter tweets with 3 new timeline options: tweets, tweets and replies, or tweets with photos or videos. A feature similar to Facebook Pages, a tweet can now be pinned to the top of a profile to showcase what the user is all about. A new third column is also added on the right-hand side of the screen, containing trends and who to follow. The following and followers pages have also been updated, with each follower displayed in a grid view, showing even the user's header photos. Music streaming service Spotify comes to the Philippines. Following launches in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Singapore last year, comes the Philippine launch this week. For those unfamiliar with Spotify, the service allows users to discover and listen to music for free on their computers and mobile devices. Premium subscribers get to download and keep the music offline for a set period of time. The service also includes social features such as sharing of playlists and following friends and celebrities. Spotify launched in Sweden in 2008 and expanded to the US in 2011. In the Philippines, users are given access to a library of over 30 million songs, including local hits. Upgrading to a Spotify premium account costs 129 pesos per month, much cheaper than the $10 premium subscription rate in the US. Globe subscribers can get Spotify Premium with new Go Surf postpaid plans. Prepaid Globe subscribers get the non-premium version via Go Surf 10, which provides 10 megabytes of streaming music for one day. Microsoft rolls out the Windows 8.1 update this week. The free update is a must for all Windows 8 users as it tries to fix the confused state of the operating system. Windows 8 has 2 operating environments: the desktop, which Microsoft users from OS versions past are all familiar with, and the new optimized for touch modern user interface, formerly known as the Metro UI. While a beautiful operating system, Windows 8 was designed for touch, which can be difficult for desktop users that don't have touch screens. The most notable change in Windows 8.1 is the addition of controls that make it easier for you to use the OS with a keyboard and mouse. Close and minimize buttons will now be available on modern apps when moving the mouse to the top of the screen. Microsoft is also bringing the taskbar from the desktop environment to the new modern UI. It now appears when a user moves his mouse to the bottom of the screen. Apps are easier to find as the update pins open modern apps to the taskbar by default. Looks like Samsung's foray into the wearable space isn't over yet. With 2 new wearable devices already unveiled this year, reports reveal Samsung is planning a third device, this time a version of their Gear smartwatch with a built-in SIM card. The Gear Solo, as it will be called, will allow users to make phone calls without a paired smartphone. What will the smartphones of tomorrow be like? The best place to look are the chip makers. Take Qualcomm, for example, whose Snapdragon processor powers almost all high-end Android and Windows smartphones these days. The American semiconductor company announced the new lineup of smartphone chips this week. The octa-core Snapdragon 810 promises support for 64-bit operating systems, 4K displays, and a dual image signal processor that will allow image capture of up to 55 megapixels or HDR video. Smartphones running the new processor won't ship till next year, but there's no rush. Google's Android OS has yet to support the 64-bit architecture. Apple's iPhone 5S is currently the only 64-bit smartphone in the world. Is it really possible to get a good quad-core smartphone for under 5,000 pesos? That's about $100. Well, this week, Philippine smartphone brand MyPhone sets out to do just that with the MyPhone Rio.
Color is the headline feature of the new Rio from MyPhone. Available in red, orange, yellow, blue, green, white, and black. Each color variation supposedly is meant to match a user's personality. The phone looks like a cross between Apple's iPhone 5C and the Nexus 5. The back plate is removable, exposing two standard-sized SIMs and a 2000 mAh battery. The design aesthetic is understated yet hip and classy. We're a sucker for a phone that looks great, and the Rio is definitely one of them. Overall, it feels great in the hand. The matte plastic provides a soft, comfortable grip. With the Rio, MyPhone pushes boundaries. We can't get over its sub 5,000 peso price tag vis-a-vis its impressive spec sheet. The phone comes with a 5-inch 720p display, which in our tests looked good on games, video, and just casual web surfing. The phone runs off a MediaTek 1.3 GHz quad-core processor and 1 GB of RAM. We've seen quad-core Android phones in this price range, but not with specs like this. While we didn't run into any major bumps, it wasn't blazing fast like a high-end model, but how can we nitpick given the phone's cost? The phone scores a decent 16,923 on benchmarking test AnTuTu. Camera-wise, the Rio ships with an 8-megapixel main shooter with an LED flash, and a 2-megapixel autofocus front-facing camera. The main camera took great photos out in the sun, and also did pretty well in low light. MyPhone customized the camera app and is giving the phone some new camera modes like Face Beauty, which softens the skin of subjects, and HDR mode. They've also added Cinematograph and Object Eraser. The latter, like Zoe mode on the HTC One, takes a video and allows you to erase moving objects from behind a subject. Everywhere on the user interface looks like stock Jelly Bean. There are minor touches here and there, like colored icons in the settings menu, and custom skins on the default apps. MyPhone has pre-installed some local apps like Click the City and MMDA. You will find the 4 GB of storage lacking, but the phone supports up to 32 GB with an optional micro SD card. Battery life was great, with 3G and Wi-Fi turned on. The phone will last you a solid 7 to 8 hours on a single charge. If you're on a budget and looking for the most capable Android smartphone, definitely consider the MyPhone Rio, available this week for 4,999 pesos. The similarly priced Cherry Mobile Flame 2.0 comes with a slower processor, a smaller display, and just a 5-megapixel camera, while Star Mobile has two offerings in the 4,000 peso price range, but spec-wise, both the Astra and the Navi cannot compare. What we liked most about the Rio is that it looked and felt great, well beyond what we're used to seeing from phones in this price point. In every sense, the phone will be a disruptor. We hear 3,000 pesos is the magic mark in the budget phone space, but with an extra 2,000 pesos more, you can get a phone that can compete with the best that's out there.
And that was TechRap. For the latest tech news, visit rappler.com/technology. Follow Rappler on social media, join our conversation online, and if you have any tech questions, don't hesitate to send us emails. All the details are below. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.